It's indeed a great honor to be invited as a guest speaker for this occasion. I want to use this opportunity to thank the faculty and students of this university for your foresight in choosing this particular topic at this opportune time. You couldn't have chosen a better topic than this for basically two reasons. The fact that the banking sector is being engulfed by technology, and most of the changes are being driven by technology. And the history of banking in Ghana and globally is the history of change. Most of you remember the days of cash book to checkbooks, and even now checkbooks are hardly used. We are now in the era of ATMs, which is also almost fading out. The new thing that is in the pipeline is digital currency. This is a change that is happening globally, and we cannot run away from it. It is therefore a great pleasure that I'm here among colleagues and friends who are also thinking about this topic, as the regulator at the Bank of Ghana is doing the same. So, to start with, what is digital currency? For an engagement like this, I always want to put their mind on a flexible mood. I see myself as whilst not trying to go too academic, because I cannot be in the shoes of my learned professors who are academics. I will try to go about it from the business perspective. So what is digital currency? In simple terms, if you don't remember anything at all, just know that digital currency is more like a paperless money. And this one is issued by the Bank of Ghana or central bank to facilitate seamless transactions across people from different locations. So digital currency has another version which we call cryptocurrency. I'm sure most of you might have heard about it. And if I'm not mistaken, some of you might have dabbled in it in one way or the other. You might have had adverts being thrown at you saying, there's cryptocurrency. If you want to take an opportunity, you could amass a lot of money. Well, there's opportunity to make money, but as a risk management person, every business which is profitable always has an element of risk in it. As we say, the higher the risk, the higher the profitability. And sometimes the risk can be such that you end up losing your entire capital. So why digital currency? I would say that the aim of digital currency is to break down barriers. Because digital currency is run on a technology platform called a blockchain. And the blockchain has a number of characteristics that makes it possible for you to trade across countries. And also somehow eliminate the element of control. So in digital currency, the control is from the Bank of Ghana or the central government. But in cryptocurrency, it is a private initiative where the central bank will typically don't have control. So the topic is, you want us to find out what is the role of digital currency in the Ghanaian economy and then the world at large. And I want to look at the way forward. So, and I like the way the topic is structured because it is structured from a business opportunity risk perspective. And why do I say that? You are looking at how digital currency will help our economy. But we are also looking at the way forward, which means that it stands to reason that we foresee that even though digital currency will play some role in our economy, it will also leave in its wake gainers and losers. So the question to ask is, how do we prepare ourselves for it? So I'll first of all take us through what the digital currency is expected to play in the national economy. By the way, I just want to highlight to you that the countries that is taking the necessary steps to adopting digital currency. There are 3 countries that are currently in the implementation phase. Ghana is supposed to start the piloting phase in this month of September, as communicated by the governor of the Bank of Ghana. Those countries currently rolling out digital currency are Bahamas, Jamaica, and then China. Is it not interesting that these are countries who should be taught as at the back of the financial market, who are rather implementing it? Why is countries like US, UK, and then the other economic powers seems to be delaying? Well, as we go along, you may know why that is so. So the first idea I have about the role that digital currency is expected to play in the Ghanaian economy is that it is expected to facilitate seamless flow of transactions across national borders, such that you will not need to do business transactions using cash. All that you need is to have access to an internet, and then you are good to go. So by this, it will mean that it has a number of implications. One angle I would like to look at it is from the cost management perspective of financial institutions. What is the current structure of financial institutions? The financial institution will typically want to invest in the number of branches. And like as when I was about leaving school, what I was always looking out for is to look at a bank that has the number of branches in far off locations, and those that have the big branches with nice colors. And those were the pleasure and pride of yesteryears. And you will typically use to measure the value of a bank by also looking at how many branches they have and how beautiful the branches. Possibly I have bad news that that is sooner than later going to be a thing of the past, as it is already happening. Because what we have in place currently is that banks are gradually and steadily replacing bricks and mortar branches with digitally led centers. Because bricks and mortar branches are quite expensive and very difficult to maintain. And a typical bank that opens a new branch in any location will have not less than 3 years to recoup the initial investment that they've made in that branch. So the question is, why invest in that? When you can simply just deploy a low-cost technology with a small space, and you can still offer the same services. And already it is happening with mobile money and internet banking. So digital currency, from my view, is just going to be an addition and possibly spare off that change, where we'll no longer be measuring the wealth of a branch of a bank by how many branches it has, but by how it is able to leverage technology to offer the same level of services from far off locations. You can be a teacher in a remote village, but you can have access to any bank that you want to deal with by the power of technology. So that's one aspect of the role that digital currency is expected to play. But like I said, it is not all rosy. Digital technology will also mean that with all these changes, it's expected that some people will be without jobs. That is, those who currently have jobs may lose it, and those who may aspire to work in a financial sector may not have direct working relationship with the financial sector. You may only have the option to do ancillary services. Because the banks, who will typically have maybe about 200 staff, will no longer need to have 200 staff to be able to run these operations. And it's already happening. People are being laid off every now and then because technology has come to replace human resource. So it is bad news, but there's also an opportunity. How do we leverage the opportunities available? So there will be ancillary services arising from the digital currency market and the digital technology generally. So what I advise my dear students to possibly start considering is, where do you position yourself to be able to take advantage of the spin-off from the changing trends? Technology will be used in banking, but it can also be used in other areas, as is already happening. So you may not necessarily have at the back of your mind that because you are a business student, when I finish, I may necessarily go into banking. You can go into agriculture, and as a finance person, you can best manage it better than any other person who doesn't have a finance background. So you are combining finance with agriculture. You can go into service delivery. You can go into IT. And those who are already in employment in the banking sector are likely to lose their job. The focus in the corporate world these days is on transferable skills, but not on academic qualifications. So the second point is that digital currency will leave in its wake the possibility that people will lose their job. That's a sad reality. Digital technology also brings with it the possibility that there will be a reduction in cost by the Bank of Ghana or any other central bank for that matter. Bank of Ghana typically spend a lot of money trying to print new currencies and then reprint existing currencies that have been defaced by virtue of how we handle our monies. So with digital currency, there will not be the need to print hard currency. All that would just need to happen is for us to have a prototype, and it's available for anybody to use. You will not need to have physical cash. And therefore, that aspect of cost will be taken away. So, like I already mentioned, digital currency is not only a Ghanaian phenomenon. We are only actually at we have gone through the first three phases. The first phase is the development phase. The second phase is the piloting phase. So we are basically in the piloting phase, as reported by the governor of the central bank. So we'll be moving soon to the implementation phase, if everything goes right. Another advantage of digital currency will be the absence of intermediation, and there will also be an enhanced financial inclusion. Hitherto, we know that the informal sector, most of them used not to have bank account. Either they put their money under their pillows. The typical example is the story of how market women, Mokola women used to handle their cash. But with the onset of mobile money, which is an aspect of technology-driven banking, we are seeing that trend has changed. And many are those who used to think that because some market women and men, let me add, did not have the requisite education, they could not participate in the mobile business. But we have all been shocked that most of them are actually able to use it. And so will be the case when digital currency is launched. It will not exclude any other person. So if you still think that there will be a niche market where you can still explore, most of the people will begin to use digital currency. So these are just the ideas about digital currency. Like I already mentioned, digital currency is different from cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is private initiative. Digital currency is issued by the central bank. And it has all the attributes of the traditional concept of money that we learned about in banking and finance and economics, which is store of value, medium of exchange, and unit of account, and amongst others. Cryptocurrency, on the other hand, is private-led. So what is the way forward? I want to say that the way forward is preparation. From the regulator perspective, they have already started their phases of preparation. First, the idea has come up, they've engaged a technology consultant, C&G, who is currently working in implementing it. The next phase will be piloting and then possibly implementation. But for us as a business community, academics, economic business managers, students who are looking to join in the job market, how are we going to prepare ourselves for the way forward? Because the way forward will definitely come with some gains and losses. There's not much to say about that, but I think the key points I would like to leave with you is, 1, have a flexible mind. Don't fix your mind that when I come out, this is what I want to do. Have a flexible mind. Have a number of business ideas that you want to explore. And as you try a number of them, you will definitely be able to find out the one which is best suited for you and the one that you have a passion for. Because the corporate environment is no longer the same, whereby you are trained for a specific job. I'm sure this may be bad news for you, but I think we need to face the reality. The jobs are simply not there. We have to create the jobs. So I also mentioned that there is an element of risk in it. And these are the fact that even though it is supposed to be a secure medium of exchange, it is also subjected to all the risks that are common with any digital technology. You have the issues of scams, where somebody can hijack your account and transfer all your money. And therefore, we all need to be risk conscious. The regulator also needs to set the right framework, the recovery procedures, should it happen that somebody loses money. There's also a bigger risk of money laundering and terrorism financing. These are big global issues, which consider about almost 10% of the world GDP. Illicit flow of funds through terrorism, financing, and then money laundering. Because of the structure of digital currency and cryptocurrencies, where there's an element of anonymous users, it can serve as a medium for moving illicit funds across territories without the necessary control. So the way forward, therefore, is how do we customize this solution to make sure that at least the element of recognition is there? And this is what the regulator should be thinking about. We don't want to have a situation whereby somebody can move money from Iraq to Afghanistan or Iraq to Accra or from US to Afghanistan, and you cannot trace the identity of that person. We'll be running a risk both politically and economically. So in conclusion, I'll say that digital currency, as it's already been implemented in other countries, is a major innovation. It is set to happen in Ghana, and Ghana is reputed to be the first country in Africa which is toying with the idea of a digital currency. So, like I said, it's not going to be a long talk. I just want to pause here, and then I'll open possibly when there's question and answer session. There may be specific questions that will bring out which we'll be able to address. So on this note, I thank you all for defying the odds of the weather and coming to listen to this presentation. Thank you very much.
And please, let's do it better. Let's do it better. A very powerful presentation. At this juncture, it's time for questions and answers. And so, please, if you have any question, you let us know, and then you answer us exactly. Hello. 2.
All right. My name is Johnson, BBA Banking and Finance Level 200. As you explained, you said that digital currency is controlled by Bank of Ghana. And my question is, digital currency is about electronic form. And what will be the effect or the implication on small-scale business?
Please, if you want to ask a question, kindly come forward, please.
Okay, Mr. Chair. My name is Michel Adatovo, level 400 student. From our guest speaker statement, I get the understanding that everything is turning digital, that as students, as we are moving out, we should make our mind flexible, that we could explore anything after this place. And through your presentation, you make a statement that as everything is turning digital, what you need most is a network to access what you want. My question is that, is there any policy by the government also trying to look at the network aspect? Since in Ghana, we could see that network is a problem or a major problem. So if there is any policy at the government aspect that this network issue could be minimized, since we are migrating from office to digital. And my second question is much of
Hello.
My second question is more of a suggestion that as a student for 4 years now, I've realized that every year we receive a seminar like this. And today from our boss statement, we realized that we should make our mind flexible so that if we move out, we could be able to explore other fields. As an accounting student, I can explore that of agriculture, using my finance or my accounting background to do better than others. So I suggest to management or our school that if they could open a platform for something like entrepreneurship challenge, that every year, students, as we receive the seminar, we try to explore that idea. And they should know that actually what they are imparting in us, we are trying to start something about it before we move to the outside world. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your questions. So the first question I ask understand is somebody's asking the implication of digital currency on SMEs. Like I mentioned, digital currency will mean that the way we do business, whether as a big business or a small-scale business, will change. You will now have the chance, so that's a positive, you will now have the chance to be able to transact with others from far-off locations. Sometimes you may not even see them. So that's a plus. So your market now becomes limitless. But at the same time that your market is becoming limitless, somebody's market is also becoming limitless. And therefore, it's a plus and a minus because competition is going to intensify. So you could gain and you could also lose. And that is why you will need to be adept with whatever changes are happening, because the only constant now is change. The second question has to do with more of a policy question about network. And I can bear testimony to what you are talking about. I arrived in WINNEBA yesterday, and I tried to withdraw some mobile money from my wallet, and it was a big struggle. Network was not working. WINNEBA is not any village. WINNEBA is a township. Why will network not work? So it's a good observation that you have made about the fact that network would definitely need to be up and running for us to be able to explore the potential of this market. Assuming you are competing with somebody in China for a business contract, and the person has the reliable support system infrastructure to enable the person deliver at a faster speed, whilst we are here struggling to send a basic email to acknowledge a request that a customer has sent to you, you will definitely lose out. So there's therefore the clarion call and for the policymakers, National Communications Authority, Ministry of Communications, and the technology players, the telecom companies, to play their role in ensuring that the money that we actually give to them, we actually get any value for it. And that will not just happen in a vacuum. You have to push for it. No change happens until there is an agitation, and the rightful agitation from the people who are affected. I think that's where I want to pause on this question. Thank you.
Okay, so sir, I would like to find out, so you mentioned that there could be possible job losses with the introduction of the data currency. I wanted to find out if, so there's free SHS, we are expecting more people to be in the universities, and we are bringing up data currency, which could affect jobs and make people lose jobs. So I wanted to find out if there's any policy in place to mitigate anything of the sort. Yes, so that's my question.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I just want to know digital currency, cryptocurrency, bitcoins, and then all that. Are there any differences or similarities? Are they the same? And then given that the jury is out there as to whether dealing in cryptocurrency is legit or not, if you may want to assist on that. Digital currency, cryptocurrency. Then my second issue has to do with job losses. Maybe from where I'm coming from because of my accounting background. Can you share figures with us? Coming from the Bank of Ghana perspective, who wants to introduce the digital currency, job losses would definitely reduce the revenue, how do we call it, bracket of government, because if you have people losing jobs, then it would mean income taxes by way of payee may not be accruing to government. Can you share figures for us in relation to the introduction of digital currency? Thank you.
Hello, I'm also Evergreen Samuel. I have listened to you, and then your presentation was very interesting. But I want to know how the issue of fraud, being inherent in the economy, be managed at the advent of digital currency. The issue of fraud, how is it going to be managed? Fraud. Yes.
Hello. Please, I also want to ask a question. Concerning, you said that we should have business ideas and other stuff. I want to know the benefits those entrepreneurs are going to get from this initiative the benefit entrepreneurs are going to get from this. And those in villages too, how are they going to, because you talk about network, and we know that network is really a problem in Ghana here. So if it's going to be an initiative, how are we going to manage the network and other things? Thank you.
Wow, this is a loaded series of questions. This assures me that people were really listening to what I was saying, and I want to thank you so much. So there is a question of job losses, and the person is asked, so there is a question of job losses, and the questioner wants to know, how do we mitigate job losses? And closely related to that is, he wants to know whether there are figures about the potential job losses. And he makes a point about the feed-through effect of job losses. So, you know, in economics, we talked about the fact that one, we have variables to an economic model, whereby if one of the variables is disturbed, it tends to have a feed-through effect to the other variables and the eventual outcome. So he's asking about job losses as a variable in the economic equation and how that is going to affect government revenue. So maybe that's a nice econometric model that somebody can try to plug, and they will answer. So let me try to answer the questions about job losses. So there are various sectors of the economy. Banking and financial sector is just an aspect. Initially, we used to say that about 60% of the Ghanaian economy is agriculture. I don't know if it is still the same. I've not checked the latest figures. And we now observe that services as a sector is beginning to take a chunk of the market, whilst industry, agriculture begin to have lower figures. So what am I driving at? So there will certainly be some saturation in some markets, which is services. Then what do? We have to look at the potentials in other sectors. That's why in my presentation, I specifically talked about the potential of looking at agriculture. So you lose your job, or you fail to find a job in banking or insurance or telecommunication. Should that be the end of the world? Certainly no. The first strategy of every man or woman is the drive to survive. So therefore, you have to look for the other options that are available. And that is where the issue about flexibility of mind comes in. Now, the second aspect about job losses arising from digital currency. Unfortunately, I don't have figures for that. The Bank of Ghana has also not published any figures about the potential job losses arising from digital currency and technology in general. But just take a cursory look. I don't know if you have been quite alert to what is happening in banking for the past, let's say, 10 years. When you used to go to a bank branch and see about 20 people as employees in the bank branch, these days when you go, how many tellers do you see at the frontage? Maybe 2 or 3. Even GCB, which used to be heavily employ a large number of people. When you go to their banking hall, you realize that the number of people there has reduced. So that may just be an empirical indication in the absence of actual data to show you that there will definitely be further drift in the number of people who will be in the various financial services. And it is true that when people lose jobs, it has an impact on government revenue. It also has other social causes. And therefore, services, this may be an indication to us that services is gradually being overstretched. And the time has come for us to explore the other options that are available. Now, there is another question about cryptocurrency and digital currency. Any difference? Yes, so there are differences between cryptocurrency and digital currency. Bitcoin, as we refer to, is an example of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies are issued by private institutions. So examples I will have the Bitcoin, which is the most popular one. We have the Alipay, which is also another option from the Alibaba family, and amongst others. Cryptocurrencies, on the other hand, are issued and backed by the authority of the central bank. Just like how our currency is backed by the authority of Bank of Ghana, you see the governor's signature on it, and he has control over it. Digital currency, the only difference is that it has moved from hard currency to online. And therefore, the government will also be able to have that level of control, but not to the same degree as the physical, the physical cash. So, for instance, government may be able to control how many people are taking our cedis out of the borders. That is, if people are actually doing that anyway. But in the case of digital currency, unless you have an online monetary system that will make sure that all currencies that are going out of your jurisdiction actually have the necessary monitoring and checks, you will lose that level of control. It will still be recognized as you are the issuer of that currency, but in terms of your ability to monitor where it moves to, you have little control over that. So examples of like I already mentioned, there are 3 countries which are at an advantage in the digital currency. We have China, we have Bahamas, and then we have, there's a third other country. So I think that's what I want to say. Those are the differences. But there is also a similarity. And the similarity is that both digital currency and cryptocurrency are run on the same technology, which is called the blockchain technology. And the blockchain technology gives it some level of control, transparency, and also minimize the fraud, even though the fraud is not totally eliminated. So this moves me straight to the next question about fraud management, which my good friend asked. How do we manage fraud in a digital world? It is a fact that the days where armed robbers will hijack you from the road, some of them have decided that, no, the road is too, they don't want to get dirty on the road trying to just rob us. So what they would rather want to do is that, let me sit at the comfort of my home and then rob you online. So that's a reality. And that is why we all need to have, be conscious about the risk elements that will arise as the currency begins to roll out. The truth must be told that this is something new which is coming into our market. So we all will need to be alert to the possibilities of being defrauded online. If something looks too good to be true, it certainly is not true. I don't think there's any better advice I can give about how to manage the fraud than this. Thank you very much. There's also a question on network. I think I dealt with it in an answer to an earlier question. But network, so this also gives another potential that even in the absence of internet services, there may also be a business opportunity to be able to do offline services, which can be settled as soon as you have internet services. So that is one way of looking at it, apart from pushing the policymakers to ensure that we are offered the best of services. There may also be a variant whereby you can have access to do your transaction offline. And once you do it offline, so for instance, text, most of the time, if you compare maybe WhatsApp message to a text message, typically if you have limited network, you may be able to send a text message than you will be able to do a WhatsApp. I think that's my observation. But the point I'm really driving at is that there may be a challenge in that sector, apart from we pushing the policymakers to make sure that we are doing good in getting that services. There may also be a business opportunity whereby we can look at offline services in digital currency transactions. Thank you.
Hello. Okay. So a very powerful presentation from Mr. Donatus. Gradually, we are moving into the digital world. And it's very, very important for us to brainstorm. Tellers are losing their jobs because of ATM machines. Very soon, people who work on ATMs will lose their job because of these digital currencies and the rest. So it's about time we start brainstorming and then find ways and means to make money. A very powerful presentation from Mr. Donatus. We have a number of corporate bodies with us. We have reps from Data Bank, ACCA, and then ICAG. So at this juncture, I would like to call on Mr. Kojo Kwarteng from Data Bank to give us a very nice presentation. Please, let's clap for him.
All right, so good afternoon. I'm Kojo. I'm an RM with Data Bank Kaswa office. Okay, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the need to invest as students. So, I mean, we invest because we want to be financially independent in the nearest future. Okay, and so it's always good to have a savings account, or what we call the SUSU, but it's always better to have an investment account, in the sense that the investment account grows over time. So your money is able to beat inflation. But if you should keep money lying down in, say, SUSU or in your box, and because you believe that banks have gone down over the period, it wouldn't be prudent to keep money in an investment bank, then you would be making a very bad choice. Because as young as you are, I believe that it's always better to save now, because you have a lot of years to pension, okay? And you have a lot of things you want to do ahead, because probably some would want to master in a particular field from here. And the only way you can do that is by investing. So I would want to take us through some investment accounts that we at Data Bank believe that everyone should have. Okay, so the first one is an emergency fund. Okay, so COVID came and we were asked to go on lockdown. Okay, so we went on lockdown for about a month or so. So you can imagine if you had gone on lockdown for about 6 months, people would really struggle, because you wouldn't be able to step out to engage in whichever activity you used to normally engage in, which used to bring you money. Okay, so investing, having an emergency fund such as Data Bank's M Fund could help you keep yourself at bay, so afloat, so you don't struggle while you are indoors, or while you probably lose your job within, say, 3 to 6 months. So that's what emergency funds do. They are able to make you take care of your needs, say, if you have to pay for light bills, or you have to take care of food, any expenses that might come up as a result of a job loss, or as a result of, say, what COVID brought, the lockdown, you could be able to take care of yourself because you had an emergency fund. And with Data Bank, our M Fund is such that you can be able to withdraw and then make monies available to you either via Momo or to your bank account in a maximum of 2 working days. So your money is growing at a rate which is way higher than T-bills, and which is also way higher than what the savings account will give you. And it also gives you the flexibility of making withdrawals as and when you have to. Okay, so the first is the emergency fund, and the reason you want to have an emergency fund is because you can't really tell what the future holds. You could easily lose your job. There could be anything like a lockdown again in future, which we can't tell. So that's the more important reason why we should have emergency funds as young individuals and as working people as well. And then also, we have the multi-purpose account, okay? So the multi-purpose account is that which so they are predictable expenses. So maybe you would want to marry in 5 years' time. And it's all about planning. So if you are saving 50 cedis every month and you intend to marry in 5 years, at least you would have an idea how much you'd have if your money is growing at 15%, okay? So we are Data Bank. We say everyone can be a millionaire, okay? So you can have a very plush wedding, or you can decide to rent a very comfortable place for yourself because you decided to save towards it while you're a student, okay? And say you're in school now and you have money to take care of bundles and you have money to do a lot of things. I've been a student before, and if you are getting money from parents, you believe that it would always be like that. But after school and after service, reality hits you hard, and you realize that you want to do just about anything just to get money, to buy just airtime or data to just run WhatsApp or Facebook. And it's always better that because you are getting monies now, you are not working and most of you are not working, your parents are supporting. So if it is 10 cedis a month you can keep in an investment account, it would go a long way, because if you're in first year or if you're in second year, you would have about 2 years to finish school. So you can imagine saving 10 cedis every month or 20 cedis every month, which is growing at 15% for 2 years. That would be quite some amount of money you could rely on after you've left school. Okay, and we also have another account which we call the retirement account. Okay, so retirement in the sense that, okay, so for Senate, you see, our pension structure is such that you have the tier 1, which is to Senate, you have the tier 2, which is the occupational, and then you have the tier 3, which is voluntary. Okay, so if you are working and your employer is paying some parts of, your tier 1, tier 1 is managed by Senate, so you get about 13% being paid by your employer, okay? And then you, the employee, you pay about 5.5% of your money, which goes together becomes 18.5, and then out of this 18.5, 5% to go to tier 2, which is managed by a corporate trustee, and then 13.5 would go to Senate. Okay, so, and you see, pension looks like it's very far away from today, but we will all go on pension one day, and it's all about planning. If you are about 25 years now, and you have 35 years to pension, you could save about 87 cedis every month, growing at 15%, and you could get 1 million cedis in 35 years' time. Okay, that 87 cedis looks very small today, but you can imagine the power of compounding with investing. So if you are getting 15% every year, which compounds on a daily basis, because with mutual funds, you earn interest on a daily basis. For 35 good years, you could retire a millionaire. So if you could just take care of yourself by thinking of probably what posterity would think of you. So my uncle, or say, let's say I decide to keep about 100 cedis, I could retire more than a millionaire in a couple of years' time, because I'm more than 25. Okay, so you see, the closer you are to retirement, the higher the amount you'd have to save. So if you wait till you have about 15 years to retirement, then you would have to keep a larger amount to be able to reach your target. And my target is 1 million. So that will mean that my money would have to increase. If your target is 50,000, you probably have to save a lesser amount. And the other fund we recommend everyone should have is the educational investment account. And as students, most of you live here and want to continue further, do a postgraduate, an MBA, or a professional course. Okay, maybe ICAG or the ACCA. Okay, so you would want to plan towards that. And with your investment account, which grows at a rate of about 15%, you could plan towards getting some amount of money to be able to take care of your bills that you have to pay for ACCA and all that. So these are basically 4 investment accounts that we believe everyone should have. Okay, and we also believe that if you are able to tithe, okay, if we are Christians, if we are able to pay about 10% of our income as tithe to God for being good to us, we should be good to ourselves to be able to pay about, say, 5% of how much we earn in an investment account so we can give ourselves a good treat in future. So basically, this is what Data Bank is all about, and I believe that we should all try and get an investment account. Thank you.
Please, because we don't want to waste much time, if you have any question, please jot it down. When they are all done with their presentation, please you ask the question and address it to who it may concern. Please, let's also invite Mr. Jehad Owusu from ACCA to come and do a presentation. Let's give it up for him as he comes, please.
Hello. Okay. So will you Hello. Okay. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak at this seminar today. My name is Gerhard Owusu. I work with the ACCA. I'm the market administrator for East and West Africa. And many greetings from Norman Williams, the country head. So it's with much great pleasure. In fact, the topic for discussion today is very, I was keen about it when I actually saw the invitation. And I feel that the world today is not the world yesterday. And as a matter of urgency, we need to gather our loins and look forward and embrace the kind of changes that's going to happen. So I would want to thank the chairman, I would want to thank the leadership for giving us the opportunity to speak to you. I'll first of all start with the mantra, go further, move faster, and work smarter. I'm sure that if you have taken a keen note on whatever has been discussed as at now, there will be a lot of things panning through your mind. And it is important for you to make great strides and assertion. Now, we live in a fast-changing world. A lot of things are happening. If per these discussions and per the level of exposure you've had going through University of Education, WINNEBA, I'm sure that you might be looking at what next, because certainly you came here as level 100 and you will certainly leave here at 400. And what will be the next steps for you? Career prospect is very important and keen. Now, if you see me here, you see this logo, and you'll be thinking, what is ACCA? And you know, we have this important mantra, think ahead. We are certainly going to move whether you decide to stand, there will be tomorrow. So there is always a need for you to look out of the box and make further indications about how life will be as you move through your career journey. So we are the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. And we are the world's most forward-thinking accounting professional body, and we seem to give a lot of opportunities for people who want to think alike. We have an unrivaled network, so our boundaries are not just in Ghana. We seem to have a lot of presence. Now, we have about over 220,000 members, and also have about 527,000 students, or people who are aspiring to become chartered accountants. We have a lot of presence. We have actually about 110 national offices in about 52 countries, and a host of networks around the world. So your boundaries, like I keep saying, is not just here. And I'm sure that as I say, and as discussions have gone on, you should be looking at not just, we are going to depend on each other as the world is moving forward. So as a matter of fact, you should be thinking out of the box. And this is what we call the global connections. Why ACCA? Somebody would ask. After saying all of this, there are a lot of opportunities that is in for you when you decide to sign up for the ACCA, or when you decide to become an ACCA. There are a lot of opportunities for you. Your boundaries are not stuck to a place. You have the opportunity to expand your opportunities and networks, and also to become important cohort of people in society. And this is what we call the global demand. At any point in time, somebody needs you. At any point in time, somebody wants to associate himself or herself with you. At any point in time, there are a lot of opportunities lurking around for you all around the world. Now, we will certainly say that we are the employer's choice. Day in, day out, we have series of engagements with our employers, and we ask them what they need. And I must be very emphatic to say that we've been around for over 115 years, and then we have a lot of global partnerships. Also, from surveys that has been done, about 92% of employers say they are very comfortable working with ACCAs. So it is important for you to know that, and this is what we call work and play. So as you go through, you are prepared already. If an employer wants to pick you on, it's not about which school are you coming from, what did you read, are you able to tell us what you are actually reading. ACCA is always there for you to make that stride. Now, somewhere in 2016, as always, we'd always want to engage with our key stakeholders, and then in engaging with them, we would want to find out what they need, because certainly they are stakeholders and we need to satisfy what they stand for. Now, there were various issues that came up from those surveys and conversations. And I must say that it is one thing learning the hardcore accounting, sitting in the classroom, going about your normal studies and everything. And another thing, when you go out there. And sometimes, even in real life, we say that this person might be very intelligent, but is this person really having what we call the common sense? Sometimes you say that, this guy, he's had this opportunity to actually go through a lot of education, academia and everything, but even the way he behaves, does he really have that? So there were certain quotients that was, as we engaged our stakeholders, we kept getting those feedback. So for an accountant to be an all-rounded person and be able to deliver on his mandates when he's given the opportunity, I think that these quotients are very important for such an accountant to exhibit such skills. And these are the digital quotients. We also have intelligence quotients, and we also have various other quotients in terms of creativity and all of that. These will add up to whatever you do, other than the hardcore accounting you are pursuing. So this is what we call future ready. Future ready. So you are an individual who is well equipped and has all the resources to be able to, go about your normal duties when you are given the opportunity. Now, something that I would want to share with you before I delve into what ACC actually is the business qualification for a fast-changing world is all that we need. Now, you would want to be a manager. We've been advised today that think out of the box. What are the kind of opportunities you want to do? You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to be a business leader. You want to make an impact in society. It's always very important for you to have that business acumen that would equip you to deliver on your mandate. Now, we at ACCA will say that we are very flexible. Why do we say that? We have offerings for people who want to be part-time students, and we have those who want to do full-time. We also have self-study students and those who want to work with our tuition providers. So we've actually built partnership with a network of people who teach the ACCA qualification, and those are the people we call our learning providers. Also, we have online resources at your disposal. If you want to do the ACCA, you are not mandated to, go to the classroom, all the time. There should be that flexibility because we know that, or we understand that some people are workers, some people have a lot. In fact, you are in school today, you would want to pursue this ACCA. Imagine you torn between going for a class and, doing your academia work as you are on campus. So it's quite important for you to be able to have that flexibility in order to pursue it. In a year, we have 4 sittings. So we have the March, we have the September, we have the June, we have the September and December. So you have that flexibility in a year to plan on how to take up the qualification. Now somebody would ask, what is the structure for ACCA? We have 3 structures, or in terms of parts, perspective. So we have the applied knowledge, and the applied skills, and the strategic professional. So the applied knowledge consists of 3 papers, and then the applied skills, 6 papers, and then at the strategic professional, you have 2 essentials. That is what we call the electives, and then you have the flexibility to choose 2 from a cohort of 4, so that usually what you find yourself doing on what you aspire, you might want to tread on that path. And that qualifies you to be an ACCA. Now, one important thing ACCA does for you is we will always support you through your journey. We are committed to ensuring that we will be with you from day one till you finish the qualification. So I've already said that we have about over 110 national offices. Some are vibrant, some have been merged, but in about 52 countries and more, we have our presence there. So you would always be assured that you have that support. And in Ghana, we are located at number 1 Airport Square around Holiday Inn. We have also a wealth of online resources for you. So you have models to practice. We have the study hub that will enable you go through the models and prepare yourself greatly so that once you pick up the qualification, you will be able to go through and pass. Now, one good thing about it is I kept saying that we are not bounded by just, confining ourselves in Ghana. Now, the time in Ghana is different from the time in China. So when we are sleeping, we have our colleagues also working. And at all times, when you reach out to the customer service team, they are there to help you. Now, we give opportunities for internships and jobs. And we also have ACCA careers. So I believe that some of you here are final years, and as you go through the walls of this school, you'll be looking at getting opportunities, and we are there to offer that. Now, the real journey starts now. What are the requirements if you want to sign up for the ACCA qualification? We need your student ID, and then we need a proof of date of birth. So that is your day, your month, and year of birth. And then we would also need your email address and postal address, your contacts, and the payment slip. I'm sure by now somebody will be thinking that, so how do I quickly, take up? Now, there's one key important fact that I want to establish here, so that I'll just bring my presentation to an end because we wouldn't want to take much of your time. Now, the cost of registration has always been keen. Obviously, absolutely, we all know how our CD currency is doing. But there are always incursions to come and meet the needs of our stakeholders. Now, I would want to quickly share with you, if we don't have any partnership with you, if you are coming in and saying that you want to pursue the ACCA qualification, these are the costs you should be expecting. Now, initial registration fees is £89, and the equivalent is 712 Ghana cedis. Subscription is 112. Now, to find yourself in any member organization, you need to pay your subscription, and that puts you in good standing and presents the fort that you hold. Now, exemption fees. We are saying that per University of Education WINNEBA students, in terms of the partnership perspective that has been established, if you are to be exempted based on your coursework, when you fit into our structure, you are going to pay an exemption fee of £476. And that, in equivalence Ghana cedis, is 3,808. Now, these are some crazy figures. Yes, I hear people say A. And that is the matter of fact, if you are walking in. But I already said in my presentation that we believe in partnerships. And there's always an ongoing conversation to develop the accounting profession. So ACCA and University of Education WINNEBA have sat down and we've brought about this offer. And I think on this note, you should give a round of applause to your leadership. Take it or leave it. This is the hardest reality from the conversation between ACCA and University of Education WINNEBA leadership. So we are saying that initial registration fee, we are waiving it off and giving it to you at £20. £20. And that is about 160 cedis. If you, on an average, if you want to say that, it's 8 cedis to get a pound. Now, subscription. The school said, oh no, I mean, these guys are schooling. So if you want them to pay, what work are they doing? So we said, okay, we'll waive off the subscription. So you are not paying anything for subscription. I think you have to give a round of applause to your leadership. Now, tying your coursework to our structure, we realized that we'll be able to offer you 5 exemptions. 5 exemptions. And you realize, when I was saying the cost, I think when I got to exemptions, that even scared people. You say, hey, we are saying that with the 5 exemptions, each paper, we are giving it to you at £10. We are giving each to you at what? £10. I think you should clap for your leadership. You've done so well. Now, the good thing about this conversation, see, the hardest reality is we've all been at where you are. Usually there's an Acca that says, we've all been kids, but we've never been an adult before. Good. You will one day leave the walls of this school. Some of you might take this opportunity. Others will say, oh no. But I can tell you that with the level of experience I've had on the job, you get people coming back later in life to say that I've really regretted not doing it. What would take you not to do this if there's this opportunity for you? You have nothing to lose. As some of you are seated here, when I should ask you right now, where do you want to do your service? Where do you want to work? You'll be mentioning big places. You know, when the resource person was talking, he was telling about what? Job gaps. In fact, it's not easy out there. If anybody is going to tell you that today I'm taking your CV and just giving you opportunity, please. Most of these opportunities are on merit. And some of these things, when they speak about, you have the ACCA, you have the ICA, you have the SEMA, you have a cohort of other professional qualification. It is important for you to consider, because we all sit here. You can imagine the number in this room. You all have, what, a degree at the end of the day. Why should I pick you over the other? In a blanket way, I should say that, okay, if 400 people are graduating from WINNEBA, let's pick all of you, because you are all degree holders. But you need to stand out. So sometimes when these opportunities come, I think there are low-hanging fruits that you have to pluck and progress. If this excites you, our bankers are backless or now ABSA. Our bank account is displayed 1306282. It's not sure, sorry. Yes. ABSA. You walk into any branch of ABSA and you pay and send us the slip. We'll quickly register you. Alternatively, we have an email address that you can interact with us. That's acca.ghana@accglobal.com. Our WhatsApp line is always active. At any time, you can drop us a message. That is 050-425-0110. Now, we believe you are students, and whether we like it or not, students will forever remain students. Even all the goodies your leadership have gotten for you in terms of waiving initial registration, subscription, and everything, students always want their share. What is in it for us? We are saying that once you make payment by September 30th, we have some souvenirs for you. So once you pay, you let us know, and we'll ensure that we give out this to you. Now, when your leadership were having conversations with us, something important came. You know, giving you that opportunity to sign up on the £20, paying £10, you know, on every exemption you get, there is a condition, and it's simply straightforward. After school, kindly send us your certificates and transcripts. It's very important. After school, kindly send us your what? Certificates and transcripts. And then, you know, this exemption, I said £50, you are not supposed to pay now. You have from now to those in 400, those in 300, till you finish. You have that flexibility to pay. So I'm sure that even if you decide to do £20 or £10 at any time, by the time you finish, you should be able to pay up. And then we also encourage you. We are promoting, you know, how the account and shaping how the accountancy profession will be in the future. So we also encourage you to pick up these models and write. Some of you, you are here, this is the time for you, you are sharp, you'll be able to learn, pass, and pass well. Because sometimes when you get stuck with job, the reality sets in, and you might not even have time to go through. So we are just encouraging you that at least sit for a paper so that you satisfy all conditions. And this is what we call removing barriers. We think we've removed a lot of barriers for you. All your questionings in your heads, I think with this offer that your school has gotten, it's a great deal for you. Now, I would end my presentation, but I'll end with this quote. Wherever the future takes you, you have to arrive faster and smarter with ACCA. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm up for questions.
And please, we can do it better. Let's clap for it. And so, just like my co-MC said, after the presentation from the various corporate bodies, we open forum for questions and answers. I want to remind us that we are broadcasting this seminar live on Radio WINNEBA, and also we are streaming live on Facebook, Radio WINNEBA. And so at this juncture, I will call on Mr. Thomas Osei, a rep from the ICAG. Please, let's give it up for him.
Basa. Basa. Okay, so with the kind permission of the chairman, I would like to begin my presentation. My name is Thomas Osei, and I work with the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana, and I'm the branch manager for Central and Western region. And I'm also a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana. So behind me, I think head of department, applied finance also, Mr. Sami Gazu, is a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana. I've also seen Mr. Richard Odru, who is also a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana. I think last 2 months or so, I was here, and then our purpose for coming was to donate some of our manuals, okay, some of our manuals to your library to help you in your training and then your research activities as a university. And then I think we donated books covering all the 14 subjects that you'll be required to go through as a student of CA. So without wasting much time, I would like you to take you through the CA profession, the processes that you are supposed to go through to become a professional accountant. If the slide is ready. Okay, so whilst they set the slide up, can I see by hand if there's any CA student here? If you are here and you're already on the CA professional program, do we have anybody here who is already writing the CA professional exams? Anybody here? Can I also see by hand those who participated in the just ended business search challenge that your school became third? Can you be upstanding? Let's acknowledge them. It is not easy participating in the business science challenge, okay, and coming up third. And the little research that we did about the program is such that usually those that get to the final and win the ultimate are mainly CA students. The first edition was won by the University of Cape Coast Business School. Second edition was won by UDS, and all the participating students were also CA students. So hopefully we want to encourage University of Education, WINNEBA business students to start writing the CA professional program, and that will enhance your chance of winning the ultimate in the next business sense challenge. Okay, so by way of introduction, the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana is a public institute, okay? So we were established by an Act 170. So for the past 58 years, what we have been doing is to provide accountancy training and services to our students, potential students like you, okay? So per the mandate that establishes the institute, we do a number of things. One, we train prospective students to qualify as chartered accountants, and then we admit successful students. Okay. Sorry. So the next is to admit successful students into membership. That is after you have gone through the CA professional program from level 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, we admit you into membership. Okay. So we also, like I said, we issue membership certificates and then practicing license to new members and those in practice. So when I talk about those in practice, I'm talking mainly about the auditing firms, the big four, KPMG, Deloitte, UI, and then PwC, and as well as some of the local auditing firms that we find in the country like PKF and the rest. ICAG has the mandate to issue them license to be able to sign off company accounts in Ghana. Now, another important activity of the institute is to monitor activities of members to ensure compliance to the ethical codes. Okay, so in most cases, you come across a news item that an accountant embezzled funds. So we do our checks and you realize that the guy is not even a member of the institute. He's just like maybe an accounts clerk, somebody who is done with first degree. You are not yet a professional accountant. Okay, so we monitor the activities of all our members and make sure that they are in line with what the ethical codes teaches us. Next. Okay, so ICAG is also a member of a number of affiliate bodies. Number one is the International Federation of Accountants, that's IFAC. So we want to check ICA status on the IFAC website. Okay, for you to be part of IFAC, there are 7 things that you must satisfy. We call it the Statement of Membership Obligation. And ICA, as of today, we have certified all of them, and we are a full-fledged member of IFAC. And once you are part of IFAC, what it means is your certificate is internationally recognized. Your certificate is internationally recognized. About 175 other accountancy bodies belong to this organization called IFAC, and they are in charge of coming out with this IFRS, exposure drafts, and all that. Now, when you come to the African region, we have what we call the PAFA. That is the strongest accountancy body in Africa, and ICAG is duly represented there. Then we also have what we call the ABUA. Okay, so on the West African region, we have the Association of Accountancy Bodies in West Africa. And that allows us to run a program that we call the ATWA. And I'm proud to say that Mr. Richard Odro, okay, graduated from the ATWA and on to the CA professional program. Now, what we are saying is you can gain the professional qualification for less. Okay, currently, if you want to be a student of ICA, your registration is just 150 Ghana cedis. And then you start paying your annual subscription. That is also 150. So you need 300 cedis and you are a student. You don't have to convert anything. You are just paying Ghana cedis, 300 cedis, and you are a registered student of ICA. Now, we are local in character. Yes. So when you join ICA, in terms of organizing tuition for you, it will be done in Ghana here. Okay? In terms of providing tuition and all those things, it will be done in Ghana here. But the content is globally accepted. So if you are talking about international financial reporting like IFRS 15, say revenue standard, it is the same anywhere you go to. There's no difference. That's why we are saying that in terms of providing the service, we are local in nature. But in terms of the content and the value of the certificate, we are globally accepted. So we are internationally recognized by IFAC. I've already talked about it. And the syllabus internationally benchmarked with Institute of Chartered Accountants, England and Wales. That is one of the strongest accountancy bodies you can find in UK. In UK, we don't have just one accountancy body. We have about 5 or 7 of them. And England and Wales is one of the strongest accountancy bodies you could come up with. And we always do our syllabus review with England and Wales. So usually when we are reviewing our syllabus to reflect current trends, what we do is to invite even students and some lecturers to make inputs. And if you realize we come around with whites, they are from England, and they are part of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, England and Wales. You can research on them after this presentation. Then we also provide quality local content tuition. We have quality local tuition providers. So we have given accreditation to tuition providers. We have come to the realization that for somebody to be able to sit, write a CA and pass, all depends on quality preparation. So we have given what we call the partners in learning. We're giving them the license to be able to organize classes. And so now if you are in Accra, if you are in Central Region, each corner you realize that there's an ICA banner advertising a tuition center. We have given them the license to be able to pay so that tuition will not become a problem. And some of them are even organizing some of these classes virtually. Now, some career opportunities and relevance of the CA professional program. Very, very, very important. So when I got here, I was having a discussion with Mr. Sami Gazu, so we were just reflecting. And then I realized that he left UCC barely about 10 years ago, and he's a head of department. And we're also talking about some of the colleagues that he left the university with. And it looks like all of them are doing well, and most of them are CA qualified. Most of them are CA qualified. And they took an early decision to go through the CA professional program. So just after their national service, or just after school, they started writing. But I'm here to tell you that you don't even have to wait till you are done with your degree before you start writing the CA professional exam. It used to be okay about 10 years ago, okay, that you come to the university, use all the 4 years to do just one degree program. It's not enough. The university environment is very conducive for you to even start the professional exams. And what, like I said, those who participated in the Business Sense Challenge, all those coming up on top are CA students. Are CA students. You can check. That is the little research that we have done, and we've come to the conclusion that even last year was UCC against UDS, and the guy was a CA student, the UDS guy. That gave UCC the tough time was a CA student. So solid foundation for a smooth career takeoff. Once you qualify, last 2 years, I was at UCC. I'm coming from the Cape Coast office. Last 2 years, I was at UCC, and we registered most of the TAs. Usually, the TAs at UCC are first-class students. So we registered them. Some were even reluctant to register and all that. Then, just about when they were ending the service, there was a letter from the university telling them that from tomorrow, don't step here, don't come here. You have ended your service. Another batch of service guys are coming in. So some of them were worried after giving out our best, our services and everything to the university. What they are saying is the next day, like, don't step at the office and all that. And so I was like, I have registered you on the CA program on scholarship. Your registration is being taken care of. Your subscription is being taken care of. The exams that you are writing. In fact, there's this guy who wrote the exams on scholarship, didn't pay anything. And at the final was the overall best, won about 5,000 cash prize. He didn't pay even a peso and won a cash prize of about 5,000 Ghana cedis. That guy currently works with KPMG. So the CA qualification puts you on a higher rank. Okay, so when you exit here and you exit with just one certificate and say somebody is having your degree plus the CA qualification and you find yourself in any of the auditing firms, it is likely you start from associate 1 and the person will start at associate 2. These are things that you can confirm for yourselves. They are happening. Now the CA certification also opens you up to the technical aspect of work life. Everything that you'll be taking through as far as the profession is concerned, okay, during your time of writing, it's the same thing when you get to the workplace, you will be practicing. Okay, so your memo writing, your reports writing, proposal writing, and all those things, okay, when you are done, it's just like the same thing that you'll be doing at the office. Now, with the CA certificate, you can become a management consultant, corporate treasurer, financial. We have our members working in about 23 different sectors of the Ghanaian economy. Okay, our members, in terms of finding jobs, it's one of the easy. They are saying there are no jobs, but our members have the mobility. They can easily change jobs. They can easily change jobs. With the COVID around, people lost a lot of jobs. But I have also seen our members moving from one job to the other. It is very easy for them, especially with their degree, the professional certificate, and even like addition of maybe a master's. These are the things that you need to survive in any work environment, any finance environment in Ghana here. When the guest speaker was talking, he talked about the fact that he's a chartered banker. You understand? You need the professional certificate for that kind of recognition. Assuming he doesn't come from any professional background, who will give him the platform to come and talk to you guys? So the professional certificate is very, very important. Now, it also gives you recognition and prestige. Some are qualifying at the age of 18 years. You are easily identified. Okay? I know people who qualified at 20, 21, 22. They get into organizations and it's like, hey, Aquano, 20 years and he's qualified. So everybody is looking out for you. Okay, before I realize, maybe after national service, people are leaving and they say, you stay. You stay. So that's also one advantage that is associated with the CA professional program. Networking, good pay, occupational mobility, I've talked about it. Accounting is also in a language of business. And then there's a perception that one cannot work with the qualification outside Ghana. That is a myth. Okay? So the big auditing firms, they are all international organizations. So if you qualify with CA and you are able to find yourself in any of the big 4 auditing firms, what it means is you can also work outside. There's what they call the mobility. So you are in Ghana here working for Deloitte, and then maybe there's an opportunity in Australia, Deloitte, and you put up the employment. Once you qualify, you have the requisite experience with the CA qualification, you can easily move from Ghana, and it has been happening. A lot of them have been going on mobilities. And it's the same CA qualification that they are using. Once you are recognized by IFAC, that is it. For time's sake, let's move to the next slide. So we have what we call the scholarship scheme. ICA offers full scholarship to all graduates with first class, irrespective of the program of study. So whether you're an accounting, a finance, an HR, or psychology students, all you have to do is to exit the university with first class. Now, we don't even wait for you to finish the 4-year program. If you are up to level 300 transcript and you're on first class 3.6 and above, we'll register you on the CA professional program. At the end of level 300, that is 6 semesters results, and you have 3.6 and above, we'll begin the registration for you on the scholarship. And this is what the scholarship covers. Your registration, which is 150, will be taken care of. Subscription, 150, will be taken care of. Exemptions, usually with accounting and finance, you are likely to get 6 papers exempted from the 14 papers. All the exemptions fee will be taken care of by the scholarship. And then the examination fee, you are not supposed to pay anything when you are writing the exam. Then the second scholarship package we have is what is called the Institute of Chartered Accountant England and Wales sponsored scholarship. That one is for CA students. That is why I asked the question if there's anyone here writing the CA professional exams. That one, if you sit for any of the papers across all the levels, okay, and say you are a best student in, say, level 1, financial accounting and management, okay, you qualify for the England and Wales scholarship. And that is about £1,500. That covers your even tuition fee. With the first scholarship, we don't pay for your tuition. You have to get your tuition from wherever you want to get a tuition. But with the England and Wales scholarship, we provide you with the tuition in addition. Now, this is the structure. So we call it the 464 formation, 14 papers involved in you becoming a professional accountant. The level 1, what we call the knowledge in the level 4, 4 papers, the application, which is the level 2, 6 papers, and then a final level, which is the professional level 2. We have 4 papers there to complete the program. Next. So what I'm saying is you can graduate from University of Education WINNEBA with 2 certificates. Okay, don't ask me how, because a lot of people have been able to do it. Okay, a lot of people have been able to do it. People exited the university, even with the CA professional certificate, before writing their final degree exams. Very, very possible. There are just 14 papers involved, and at each sitting, somebody can pass all the 4 papers. Okay, so if you sit May and you pass 4 papers, November you pass 6 papers, that is 10 papers in a year. The following year, half of the year, you pass the other 4 and you are done. And you still bill at the university, because the university, you have to do 4 years before you can exit. So this is the guy I was talking about from UCC, Evans Oja. We registered him on scholarship. I did the registration myself for him. He wrote the exams, and he was the overall best when he was graduating at the final level. Okay? And then he was a teaching assistant, and he won award, cash prize of about 5,000 Ghana cedis. Now, this guy did it at level 400 before exiting the university. He's also at the University of Ghana. I think he's done now. Now, your own student, Aaron Owusu Ansa, I think he's left here. Okay, so he wrote the level 2, and he was the best student in audit and assurance. Your own student. Okay, he was the best in audit and assurance. So it is never beyond you. The environment is very conducive for you to start thinking about the professional exams. Now, the examination periods, we used to have 2 sittings. Okay, going into 2022, we've changed it. Now we are doing 3 sittings. So we'll do April, August, and December. We are doing April, August, and December. And so the April registration will open in January for the April date, and then the June for the August date, and then September for the December date. And these are the examination centers. I think we've also had a discussion that we want to, with Mr. Sami Gazo, that we want to open up an examination center, but that will depend on the number of students who want to write the professional exam. So currently in Central Region, we write at Cape Coast. Okay, so hopefully we are still discussing it to be able to have a teaching center here for you to be able to, an exam center here for you to be able to write the exams. So I think I don't have much time. I want to end with, life is like an accounting. Everything must be balanced. Do not use all the 4 years to do just a degree program. It used to be okay some 10 years ago. It is not enough. It is not enough. People are qualifying at the age of 22. Okay? So then they start masters. They add 2 years. By 24 years, they have professional certificate and they have their masters. And you are still having your degree. Okay? So if you are in unemployment and things are not going on well, how do you move with your first degree? It becomes difficult. If you are doing national service and after the service period, the employer says, I cannot engage you, where are you going with your first degree? Okay, so start thinking about the professional program. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Please, let's give it up for them again. They've really done. Please, it's time for questions. If you have any question, please come in front. If you have any question for all the 3 presentations, any question, please kindly walk in front.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your presentation. My question goes to the ICAJ presenter. In your presentation, I think you skipped the exemption fees. So I would like to know how much you will be paying if you are to be exempted in a paper or all the exempted people.
Please, any other question?
Thank you very much for the question. Currently, the exemptions for degree accounting is 6 papers. That is 4 papers at the level 1 and 2 papers at the level 2. And a paper at the level 1 in terms of the exemption cost is 300 Ghana cedis. And then the level 2 is 350 cedis. Okay? But we have an arrangement where you are not supposed to even apply for the exemption. You can start writing the level 2 papers without necessarily paying for the exemptions. But it is when you are done with the remaining papers at level 2 and you are moving to the final level, then you have to pay for all the other papers that we are supposed to give you exemptions for. So you can skip the exemptions whilst you are in school and start writing the level 2 papers. By the time you get to the final, then you would have done, and then you can pay for the other exemptions for level 1 and the 2 papers at level 2, and then you are done. I don't know whether I've answered.
And please, I also have a question. It goes to Data Bank. Please, I want to know the highest interest rate and then which products have the highest interest rate. And also another question to ACCA. And please, the subscription, is it annually? Yes, please.
Okay, so the question about the rate. So there's this product we have, which is the EPAC. So the EPAC invests in stocks, okay? And you know how the stock market works. We don't just invest in the Ghana Stock Exchange, we invest in 6 other exchanges. So for stock exchanges, the prices of the stocks move up or go down. So when they move up, your money or your capital increases. When the stocks come down, when the price of those stocks come down, your balance could drop. So there's no limits to which the stock exchange can return. And so in the early 2000s, EPAC could return 137%, 87% and all that, okay? And currently, EPAC is doing a year to date. So when I say year to date, it's from January 1 to today. EPAC has returned about 18.8%. So if you had some money in EPAC, that money would have grown by about 18.8%. And so it's more about your risk appetite, okay? How much of risk you are willing to take. If you're a risk-averse person, then maybe you would want to go with M-Fund, because M-Fund will just invest in, say, fixed income securities like the bonds and the treasury bills. And for that, you are looking at an average return of 15% per annum. Okay, so you could do more than a 15%. It's not a fixed rate. And so, like I said, the rate changes every day. So it could finish the year with an 18, but currently, year-to-date for M-Fund is about 12.4. So, and you know, currently, T-bills are doing 12.2 for 91 days and about 13% for 182 days. So, if you have an investment in M-Fund, you are sure that you are making returns higher than 91-day treasury bill and the 182-day treasury bill. So for the rates, if you invest in the ones that have stocks, there's no limit to how much you can earn on your money. But you should also know that you are taking risks, so your money can drop in value as well. Yeah. But with M-Fund, your money can only grow.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to reiterate to my presentation saying that subscription payment is for a year. That's on an annual basis. And for University of Education, WINNEBA students, it is free for you if you sign up the qualification. Thank you.
All right. Mine's from the first presenter. So I'd like to say thank you very much for your presentation. But about what you highlighted, you first of all said that you first of all talk about why the USA is not, introducing the digital currency. But me, I have a problem with this because all those pros and cons that you mentioned. Even though the traditional ways of having money, you have the programs and you have the benefits. But even if we should embrace that, we are still going to have the programs and the benefits. So why not we as Ghanaians right now have to find a way that we can ensure a safe and efficient payment system that provides benefit to Ghanaian households? So how do the government do that? The government can do that by, bringing a seminar or a challenge for people who are having the ideas to bring research into a reality. Thank you.
Please, the person who just went, was it a question or a suggestion?
Actually, it was a question and a suggestion. The question was like, you refused to talk about why the USA has not embraced the digital currency. And the second one is a suggestion. Because nowadays you are facing the problems of about money and whatever side. And if you embrace that digital currency, I believe you are going to face the same problem, even though it will not be in the same track. So why not we as Ghanaians try to bring out certain things that will try to ensure our payment system, like the way the USA achieved this when it was being given to them. That was what I talked about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. As to why the USA is not doing the digital currency, it's not explicit, but I can only hazard a guess that most countries, as I mentioned in my presentation, are looking at the risks of it. So there is that caution not to take it when the risks associated with it has not been properly measured. I know U.S. has been a victim of terrorism, so they are quite very sensitive to when their dollar has to move across borders, which they do not have the opportunity to monitor. So I think that will be my response. Your other suggestion is well noted. As the discussions are so underway, it will possibly be considered when the opportunity comes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, all those who did the presentation have really, really done well. Please, let's give it up for them. They've really, really done well. Wow. With which, there's going to be a presentation by the UW team that went for the third Graphic Tertiary Business Science Challenge. Trust me, these people have really, really done well. It's not easy. Learning for exams, learning for quizzes, and they went and came up with a third position. In fact, they deserve to be celebrated. Please, with a standing ovation and a clap offering, let us give it up for these people. It's really, really done well. Please, let's give it up for them. They really deserve to be celebrated. Please, as we clap, please walk on stage. Please walk on stage and come and do your presentation. Please, let's continue to give it up for them. It's not easy. It's not easy. Learning is not easy. Let's give it up for them. Wow. Wow. Richmond, Seth, Marcus, please, you've done well. Michelle, please come here. Oh. Please, let's sit down. Thank you very much. Please, I'll hand over to our HOD.
Okay, so thank you very much. We went to represent UW at the just ended third edition of the Graphic Tertiary Business Challenge. We had 22 schools competing, and our road to the final, we were supposed to have met Cape Coast Technical, but when they saw our guys, they were intimidated, and they said they couldn't face us, so we had a bypass and went to the second round. We met Kumasi Technical University, which we walloped by round 3, so there was no competition there. Then we met UDS, the defending champion. I told them last year we made a mistake. They didn't believe. This year, we disgraced them by sacking them from the 3rd round, from the quarterfinals. Then everybody was afraid of us. Going to the draw for the semifinals, in fact, the room was very heavy and hot. All the schools were afraid of us because our guys by then had amassed the highest scoring points up until the quarterfinals. Unfortunately for us, we met our brothers. Our brothers, we sat in the same bus there, we were sleeping at the same place, and they decided to give us a knock because we are just 10 years old. But anyway, we proceeded to meet Central University at the 3rd and 4th place. I told them not to appear because we were going to disgrace them. But our guys had compassion on them, and we gave them a gap of only 5 points. So, representing the school, we had Richmond Eduardo, level 400 accounting student. We had Michelle Adatovo, level 400 accounting student. Seth Ashigbi, aka the only student professor, level 400 accounting student. And we have Marcus Obuadidete, level 300 accounting student. We also have Rebecca Ban, level 300 procurement and supply chain student. She's at the other side. So we would like to present, we had a lot of things. We would like to present it to the school and the vice dean of the School of Business. Thank you. So we would like to use this opportunity to invite all those who are interested. We have a platform, we have a group, we meet regularly. Those going for internship who like to participate, you can come. We have a special offer for you. You can come and do it in our offices. Marcus is coming to do it in my office. It's his internship, and all we are going to do is to prepare towards next year's own. So the opportunity is open to any student, level 100, 200, 300, who is willing to compete for the school. Thank you. And you get a lot of offers too as well. They can participate, they can go for internship in any of the sponsors, SEMA, CIMG, MTN, PWC, ICAG, NAT, McVitie's, Daily Graphic, TV3. Anytime they can go and have their internship attachment, and they could be picked on to work with them. And they also had a lot of staffs. They had a cash price of 3,800. They had a mobile phone each. They had 20,000 cedis each insurance cover to cover them for at least 2 years. Their parents and themselves, anytime they go to the hospital, they can go for refund. They also had internship opportunities, which I've just mentioned, 3-month subscription to Daily Graphic, certificates, among others, including the, did you rest? Okay, the luxury they went to enjoy when we went. Thank you very much.
Please, let's clap for them once again. Okay, so fast forward, we are moving to the closure of part 1 of today's seminar. And at this juncture, I will invite the chairperson, in the person of Dr. Joseph Atoforsen, to give us the chairperson's remarks. Let's give it up for him.
Thank you, Derek. All right. Thank you, Derek. Basa. Basa. Are we enjoying ourselves? Have we? I suppose so, right? It's been an interesting session, haven't it? We've had quite a resourceful person to take us through an emerging topic. I would like to look at the highlights of the presentation that was given by the resource person. And then the key points that we have to be going with. Through the presentation, we've gotten to know the differences between digital currency and then the cryptocurrency, right? Our presenter, our resource person, has conscientized us that when we talk of cryptocurrency, that is issued by a private entity, right? And my student in level 300, those who did fraud and money laundering, you remember we came across a particular name, Satoshi Nakamoto, which we were told that is a pseudonym that belongs to an individual, a group of individuals. And they were the first to have invented cryptocurrencies. Fast forward, we've had another version of it, which is a digital currency. And here we are being told that it is issued by the central bank. Through this presentation too, we've gotten to know that it is not only in Ghana that we are thinking of having digital currency. There are 3 other countries that have been able to implement digital currency. We heard of the Bahamas, Jamaica, and then China. So we can't wait to be left behind. This morning, if you should check, or if you had the opportunity of checking Ghana Web or Joy News, I think the central bank has issued a statement with regards to how it intends going about the piloting of the digital currency. And then the other parts of the theme, which has to do with the role to the Ghanaian economy. Our resource person took us through quite a number of them. In summary, one of the things that he said was it will facilitate business transactions. He also talked about financial institutions will benefit by reducing costs, and he related that to the years where we had this brick and mortar. With a digital currency, banks wouldn't have to provide physical infrastructure, but they can still have access to their customer base by providing them with services and then being able to undertake other transactions through this electronic medium. And then he also highlighted on the central banks in terms of cost saving. They wouldn't have to be printing notes every year or every quarter. So that is also going to be a cost savings to them. And the last bit of it, which is quite interesting, has to do with deepening financial intermediation. So we were told that it will enhance the intermediation process. And the wrap-up came out with a way forward, and I like that part. Our resource person said the way forward is preparation, and he was hammering on the preparation. That is tinged with a lot of meaning. That means we all have to prepare, whether we like it or not, That is the emerging trend, and we'll have to prepare to embrace it. And it is good that we've started with this preparation by having this seminar. Now, if you're a student from the business school, UAW, and you are walking by the roadside, and a lay person should confront you and ask you, this digital currency thing that you've been talking about, what is it? I don't think it's going to be anything new to you. You should be in a position to explain to the person, right? Right. And then thereafter, we had presentation from our professional bodies. Data Bank hammered on investment, ACCA opportunities to deepen or enhance your capacity, ICAG did likewise. These are all opportunities available to you. So these are the take-home things that we are going to go with. Let's not stoop at where we are. As one of the presenters said, having a first degree isn't enough, because we find ourselves in an era where we call it the information age. And one of the good old books says that to whom much is given, much is expected. So it means you have to continue building capacity to make yourself relevant for the job market. On this note, we'd like to thank the resource person and all the other presenters who made this program a success. We started late, but we've been able to stay within time, and we really appreciate that effort. We thank all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. We are going to call the Basa president to come and give us the presidential address on the current state of Basa. The Basa president to give us the address on current state of Basa. Please, dignitaries want to take the lead. They have other things doing as well. So before we continue, they've asked the permission that they might fall out any moment now. So please, if you see them leaving, they are glad that today they joined today's program, and they are also happy that you made time out of your busy schedule to join us. So before they go, please let's give it up for them for coming to join us. We are grateful for coming to join us. Thank you very much. So please, Basa President. Thank you.
Basa. Basa. Integrity. 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 Okay. I welcome you once again. And then I congratulate you for handling this call here. As we all know, we are preparing for our end of semester exams, but we have made our best and our possible effort that we will be here to grace this wonderful program. Before I begin with whatever I have on my script, I would like to engage the students, because when we take off the HODs, the deans, and the rest, I stand there to be the next person you can consult. So I present myself to be someone you can question. I can question you. We are still in operation. You bring up your grievances. I forward them to the top management for readdress. So I shall read, and you have any question, or you have any concern, or any contribution, you jot it down so that we move forward to make Basa green once again. State of the Association address to be delivered by James Asiedu Anom, the School of Business President. Mr. Chairman, Dean of the School of Business, heads of department, the patron, lecturers, invited guests, all protocol duly observed. Ladies and gentlemen, I salute you all. I am very honored to be given this platform to give the State of the Nation's address on this August day. There is a saying that it doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop. And I strongly believe very well that no matter how many mistakes we make or slow we progress, we are way ahead of everyone who isn't trying. The purpose of this specific State of the Association's address is to let the people of Basa know where we stand as an association, as the baton of leadership will be passed on in the next coming weeks. Mr. Chairman, I realize our chairman and our HODs are not in here with us, but better still, I wish to address them because this will be going viral and probably people can log in at later day and they can listen to it. Thank you. So I proceed with the address. Mr. Chairman, I would first and foremost thank God Almighty for this unbounded strength, and also thank our patrons and lecturers for their advice always given and also their immense contribution towards the progress of this association, and also the effort of my executives, since it has not been something on a silver platter. I would like to start by talking about the setup of the office for the association, to be precise, the Basa office. When the mantle of leadership was handed over to us, we had no office or space to operate as an association. And so we decided on a great move, thereby taking a step to have a setup to aid in the administration of the day-to-day affairs of the association. Mr. Chairman, secondly, in our administration, we were able to organize free software training in collaboration with the Best Brain Group to the members of the association that has helped boost some members' computer application skills on areas such as graphic designing training, and application of other computer softwares. The training enlightened members' know-how on the use of some computing application softwares. That is to say, kudos to those who saw it to be an opportunity. And not to let that one out alone, there has been other one too, which was concerning an IT software training, which was going to cover Tally training, QuickBooks, and Sage. But so unfortunately, I was able to design and solicit that support from those institutions, but our noble members were not able to patronize it because of just a 50 cedis fee for certificates, for video tutorials, and then handouts. In addition, Mr. Chairman, we were also able to make major amendments in our constitution to aid fast-track the affairs of the association, since it has been in existence for a quiet number of years now, which therefore call for some amendment to be done on some clauses and articles. And there is a belief that a human as we are, we always look forward to progress, but not to retrogress. I will take this privilege to commend the Constitutional Review Committee for their good work done and also for the support of their members. The major amendment will be made known to the House in the course of the program. Furthermore, Mr. Chairman, there is a saying that if you don't show appreciation to those If you don't show appreciation to those that deserve it, they will learn to stop doing the things you appreciate. Mr. Chairman, just to say a little about this, for the first time in the history of our association, course representatives will be handed at the end of their service to their respective classes. In the view of that, certificates will be given out to course reps at the end of the academic year. Nevertheless, Mr. Chairman, I believe very well that in every facet of human endeavors and in association, to be precise, the welfare of the members are also a higher priority as far as the association is concerned. We also took it upon ourselves and made it an immense contribution towards the welfare of members of the association in the form of cash and among others. Mr. Chairman, although there are many more we wanted to do, despite our limited time and others that COVID-19, which for past a few years took the world by storm, didn't make it a reality, and I believe that there are always more room for improvement. And due to our limited periods left to leave office, we will recommend the rest to our successors as they take over the mantle in some few weeks ahead of us. Notwithstanding those spelled out, I would also like to briefly highlight on some few achievements that we were able to do, inclusion with what I have here. We were able to go into production of souvenirs. That's 1,000 exercise books for the members of the association who has duly paid their dues. And also, with the help of the Constitutional Review and many others, we were able to bring out an idea by way of changing the name of Basa to UAPS, which there is a strong conviction against that. And we seek management advice on that, and happily it was fully accepted. And the reason behind this was that we now have students and also other internal achievements that we were able to do, which probably will be having the first sitting at our last general meeting, is the formation of Basa Parliament, which after the launch of the new name, we will now call it UAPS Parliament. And not to left to the others achievements that we were able to do, we were able to cause internal effect to aid in the smooth running of the association. To precise, management are working on it smoothly, that we will have a change of patron, which will aid and fast track the running of the association, which I believe very well that students' body will be happy with it, with that one alone, if we couldn't achieve anything at all. Mr. Chairman, I would like to conclude by thanking each and everyone here and my honorable members for their audience, and also implore every member to always pay their part towards the progress and success of the association. As Len McLean once said, try and understand what part you have to play in the world in which you live. There is more to learn than you know, and it is all happening out there. Discover what part you have to play and go for it. Thank you all once again. May God bless you, and I wish you all the best in all your pursuits and the upcoming end of semester exams. Long live Ghana, long live UW, long live School of Business, long live Basa. Thank you very much.
Please, you can do it better. You can do it better. committee. Please, let's show some love.
Basa. Basa. Good afternoon once again. Fellow colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I feel humble and privileged as a judicial board member of our noble association to be called upon to preside over this luncheon today. Just before we get started, I would like to thank the Almighty God for giving each and everyone present here today the strength and opportunity to be witness this great day. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. B.B. Bingham, patron for our association, and his deputy, Mr. Kwame Owusu-Boakye, KOB, and also members of our core executives and the general executive, the course representatives, and the Constitutional Review Committee. I would also like to thank one personality by the names of Mr. Daniel Mensah. Although he is not part of the core executive, neither the general executive member, but he delegated his time through the amendment of this constitution. The amendment of these constitutions comes as a result of the students admitted in the Department of Management Science in the School of Business, offering educational courses. There is a popular saying that together we stand, divided we fall. To come together as one in this association and avoiding division among ourselves as business students, there was the need to amend the name of our association, which will make each and everyone feel included, thereby making us strong and one people. Other areas in the Constitution that have been affected are the introduction and the inclusion of Women Commissioner into the core executive committee, the creation of Basa Parliament, and also the project committee, which was not included in the old Constitution. We will therefore move straight forward in launching of the name as well as explanation of the logo. So I would like to take you through the meanings of the labels or the symbols in our logo. The purple signifies creativity, wisdom, dignity, and brave. The yellow which signifies happiness, useful color, full of hope and positivity. The beam balance with the debit and credit symbol also symbolize the balancing of accounts. The statistics graph also symbolize results of data analysis, which also shows the business trends. The calculator also symbolizes a powerful tool for business students in the computation of figure and data. The graduation cap also means business students graduation as qualified students ready for the job market after training they have been gone through. Also, because the name of the association has been changed, this current association thought it wise to create a new cloth for our association. So next academic semester, we are not going to print the old clothes we used to. We are going to print a new one. So I would like my IT to project the new cloth for us to see how it looks like. Okay. So this will be the new clothes for Basa during next academic semester. Also, the Edinkra symbol you also see in the cloth also means excellence. Now we move straight forward in the launching of the name. Coach. Okay. So instead of Basa, now the new name is going to be University of Education, WINNEBA, Association of Business Students, which will simply means UABS. UABS. So no more Basa, but UABS. So by the power invested in me as the Basa Chief Justice, I hereby launch the new name of Basa, which is UABS. So now, the slogan for our association, instead of Basa Enlighten, is going to be UABS. 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 Integrity. Thank you.
UABS. UABS. Integrity. Someone said our heritage. Integrity. Please, at this juncture, I'd like to make
Okay, one last thing. Okay, one last thing. I don't know whether we all know how to sing the Basa anthem. The Basa choir will be here to lead us how to sing the Basa anthem, the UABS anthem. So it is only a little change in which we have made. Wherever it was Basa, now we have placed UABS. So wherever we will sing it at Basa, now it will be UABS. So that's the little changes. So the Basa choir will come and lead us through the singing of the Basa or the UABS anthem. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Please, since we are now UAPs, wherever you see the Basa, you replace it with UAPs. Okay. Okay. So, this is how it goes. UAP students lift high the bar. Okay. Please, we are learning it together, okay? You have students lift high the banner of our club. Please, it is going high, so let's all sing it together. 3, 4. You have students lift high the banner of our club. Please, let's sing it again, okay? 3, 4. You have students lift high the banner of our club. We are moving to the next line. Integrity is our hallmark. Our courses are unique. Okay, so let's sing it again. Integrity is our hallmark. Our courses are unique. Let's sing it once more. Integrity is our hallmark. Our courses are unique. So we are starting from the top. You have students lift high the banner of our club. Integrity is our hallmark. Our courses are unique. Okay, so please, we are starting. 1, 2. You have students lift high the banner of our club. Integrity is our hallmark. Our courses are unique. We are singing it once more, okay? So you have students lift high. 3, 4.
You have students lift high the banner of our club.
Integrity is our hallmark. Our courses are unique. We are continuing. Enlighten wherever you will be to lift our you up high. Enlighten wherever you will be to lift our you up high. Please, let's sing it. Enlighten wherever you will be to lift our you up high. All right, so we are starting from the top to that place. You have students lift high. 1, 2. You have students lift high the banner Integrity is a hallmark. Our courses are unique. Enlighten wherever you will be to lift our you up high. The chorus. Enlighten, oh you ups, by the power of God. Enlighten, oh you ups, with God we shall succeed. Let's sing it together. Enlighten, oh you ups, by the power of God. Enlighten, oh you ups, with God we shall succeed.
You have integrity. And please, I just said some minutes ago that we are not supposed to eat here. So please, let us take note. We are not supposed to eat here. It's rather fortunate that this time around it is item 26. You can take it home and enjoy. At this juncture, I would like to introduce some of our students to us. In fact, very soon we'll be working to the polls to elect new leaders. And as part of our activities to lift UABs very, very high, we have some vibrant people who are aspiring for various portfolios in the school as a whole. And so I want to take this opportunity to present them to you, and then you interact with them, and then get to know the policies they are bringing on board that will help UABs and the entire school. So I have Mr. Evans Yao Otu. He is aspiring for the Gate Hall Secretary. Evans. And please give it up for him. Give it up for him. And so he's Mr. Evans Yao Otu. You can also call him Thursday. So please, he is aspiring for Gate Hall General Secretary. Let's give it up for him. He's number 1 on the ballot screen. He's a business student just like us. After this place, you can see him, and then he will let you know the policies he's bringing on board. Thank you very much. We have Mr. Emmanuel Kayman. He is aspiring for Gate Hall President. Okay. So his name is Emmanuel Salifu. You can also call him Kayman. He's aspiring for Gate Hall President. Okay, he's also number 1 on the ballot screen. Okay, so thank you very much. We have Mr. Divine Agbabulo. The name is very, very heavy. Please give it up for him. So he's also aspiring for Gatti Hall Financial Secretary, a business student like us. He's also number 1 on the ballot screen. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have Mr. Boniface Upokwajiman. He is also aspiring for Src Financial Secretary. Okay, so he's Mr. Boniface Ajiman. We also have Mr. Prince Ejekum. Very good. He's also aspiring for Src Financial Secretary. Okay, so he's Mr. Prince Ejekum. Okay. Okay, so at this juncture, I would like to introduce the Src Presidential Aspirant. He's in the person of Mr. Silas Abankwa Bafo. And so he's also a business student like us, and that he is entreating us to vote for him. Oh, please, you can do it better. You can do it better as they come. You can do it better as they come. Okay, so he's Mr. Silas Abankwa Bafo, a.k.a. Gauga. Yes, and so he's aspiring for Src President. Okay, so he's number 2 on the ballot screen. So it's a 2 sure. So please, give it up for him. Give it up for him. So very soon we'll be walking to the polls, and then when you get there, you remember that they are business students like us, and that we are very united and we need to show some love. Okay, so please, those of you who took the ACCA forms, you are supposed to fill the forms and then present them back to them. They are outside there. And also, if you want the certificate, there's a stand outside there. So you get there and then you pay for your certificate. At this juncture, I'll call on the president to give us a very important announcement.
UAPS. Oh, UAPS. Integrity. Oh, why? Are you not happy? Are you not happy? UAPS. UAPS. Integrity. Integrity. I know how you are feeling. And I'm even feeling the worst more than you. But I wish we would have table to talk. For your notice, the various course reps in the various departments, there is going to be a free health emergency training at GHANAIAN Auditorium. This training has been scheduled for the past weeks, but the strike came to splash everything up. So management decided that after the business seminar, we embark on that free health emergency training. The purpose of this training is to equip the various course reps with the skills and know-how, that is the knowledge, as in treating members or a student when there is an emergency issue. For instance, in a class, a student faints. What are you supposed to do? Is there anybody at all that has to attend to the student, or you have to call the hospital first, or you have to call a technician first? So we are doing that training so that the course reps will have that knowledge. And we went into collaboration with the Hyper department. So I wish that the various students who are here and maybe some situation happening, their course reps are not here, you can inform them that tomorrow I will meet them at the JN Ayite Auditorium. The time will be communicated because management was deciding on the time, but they couldn't give me any substantive time. So within tomorrow, before the day goes to an end, the time will be communicated to them. Thank you very much. And I wish to congratulate you for coming here once again, because me myself, when I woke up in the morning, the rain, I was like, no, God, no. But I also pray that it should rain so that it will grace the program. So when it rains, I also pray that, God, let my people come. Even though our number here is not encouraging, but I think majority of us did the best. I saw a lot of them walking on the rain, myself also on the rain. I said, are you cold to you? And I'm very sure that you were really endowed with the training and the seminar. May God be with you. I wish you the best in the exams. Remember that after a year, there is more life out there. Thank you very much, my learned colleagues.
Please, let's show some love. And so please, about the training, the course reps, we have various surprises for you, so do well to attend the program. And a very quick one. We also have a business student aspiring for the Agri Hall president, and she's in the person of Miss Deborah Hammer. And please, let's show some love. Oh, please, you can do it better. You can do it better. And so I want to remind us that this seminar is live on Facebook, Radio WINNEBA. And so she is Miss Deborah Hammer, Agri Hall Presidential Aspirant. And please, about the certificate, if you are interested, you give your name to your course rep, and then course reps, please do well to submit the names to the PRO before the close of today. At this juncture, I will call on Madam Setrina Afaribia, the UAPS Women's Commissioner, to give us the vote of thanks. Let's give it up for her. Madam Setrina Afaribia.
You have integrity. I deem it a great privilege to stand before this august house to extend my gratitude to all dignitaries who are present here and all students. First of all, I wish to thank God Almighty for this day and for this program. I therefore wish to thank our guest speaker, Mr. Donatus, the Dean and the Vice Dean, the HODs, our reps from the professional bodies, the media team, the executives, and my fellow colleagues for gracing this period. Once again, I say thank you all for assembling here. Thank you.
Please, let's give it up for her. Okay. And please, by God's grace, we've come to the end of the program. We want any Muslim presence to come and give us a closing prayer. Pacho. Okay, thank you. Please, let's give it up for him as he comes. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I greet you with the Islamic salutation of peace. That's Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please, may you join me in a silent prayer. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم اللهم آمين.
Ameen. Let's give it up for him. Okay, please, there's going to be a bus service. So kindly wait as the bus comes. And please, if you've eaten, kindly pick up any rubbish that you've dropped. Please, when you go out, you drop it in the bin. Okay. Thank you. Please, we've closed. Say thank you to anybody. God bless you all for coming. Thank you, WINNEBA, for coming and for streaming live for us. Everyone for being here.